guys for joining this. Today it's going to be kind of a fast-paced look at our Windermere tools, but it's going to be kind of like diving in on occasion. Normally, I mean, if you've taken a class with me before, I kind of geek out on this stuff. But the other thing, is I tend to dive in on a specific tool and really kind of focus in on understanding and learning that one tool. Today is a little bit different. What I want to kind of focus in on is getting you guys excited about all of the different tools that are out there, diving in here and there on ones that I think we should be keying in on specifically to help us stay connected with our clients, be engaged with our clients, and be a little more productive in how we do things. So that's kind of the focal point of what this is all about. So I've broken it up into different sections. Related to our resources at Windermere that kind of key in on these points. So we're going to dive right in, and I'm just going to let you know right up front. This is a fire hose of information that's coming at you today. So you are that little black dot right there, and that's me holding the fire hose of Windermere technology pointed right at you. So there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be covering. My mission in this is basically you're going to have a wow factor of, oh my gosh, I can't believe we have all this stuff. But then I also want you to be able to go like, hey, there's that one thing he showed. I think I can take that and I can run with it today. And that's the whole thing. I want you to have at least one takeaway that you can run with today. So here we go. First off, let's talk about social media. Social media right now is incredibly vital to stay engaged and connected with your clients. Okay, not just your clients, your friends, your family. I mean, man, look at us right now. We're living in this weird virtual world, and so it's important that we understand how that world functions as it relates to social media, and what are some things we could be doing right now to be more effective in how we communicate and how we engage with folks in that realm. Well, Windermere has a lot of resources as it relates to social media. The number one resource I would say is the hub. Okay, the hub is your number one stop. If you guys are not going to the hub at least 3 times a day, like once in the morning, once at noon, and once in the evening, you're missing out on something. You're missing out on something important that you could either be sharing with your clients, that you can be learning yourself, or that you can be implementing in your business. Okay, the hub is that vital. Um, we've got resources on safe showings, how to conduct safe showings in this environment we're in. We have information as it relates to the latest stuff that's happening with ProDev classes that are coming and happening right now. I know you guys up there are dealing with a whole new forms class, and there's tons of different form classes that are going on through ProDev that I know several of you probably have taken advantage of, but there are other classes there as well that you should be looking at. And there's a section that's entirely devoted to social media. So if you look on the left-hand panel of the hub, you'll see categories of sections. You've got safe showing, you've got COVID, you've got today on social media. And that's a great place to go and check out articles and really kind of cool tips and things like that that you can turn around and share out to your clients as well. Okay, it's content to share. The other thing you'll see in there are social media tips. These are tips and guides that Megan McGlynn, who's our social media manager, along with other folks in her department, that are sharing their insights to help you be better at managing your social media marketing. We've even gone beyond that too. Megan actually talked to me last fall, and we put together an hour-long social media Q&A that we do every month. I think we've been doing it since like October or something like that. Can't remember. They're so fun. I actually love it. It's one of my favorite things class-wise that we do. But she and I will host it. I think the next one's coming up on Monday. We bring in voices from throughout the entire Windermere network. And everybody just shares what's going on. They ask questions. Megan and I try to answer as best we can, or the group answers. And so we just have this really awesome dialogue that happens in that session. So I would recommend checking that out. Now, in addition to the hub, we also have social media resources on the work site. Okay, so when you go to the work site, you'll see an entire section devoted to it. You'll see this little window called digital and social media. When you click it, you have links to connect. So you'll see all of the different social media sites that Windermere has a presence on that we are updating and running stories and posts and all that sort of stuff. We have a blog, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Pinterest, we have LinkedIn. Okay. So if you need content to turn around and share out from those different platforms, it's there for you. Take advantage of it. The other thing we have is the social media playbook. Okay. This is your guide to all things social media. Okay. We put it in a basically like a digital encyclopedia of help for you. So if you're unsure of what to do, how to communicate, what sites to be on, you'll find that help in the playbook. Okay. When you're in there, we have the why behind the playbook. There are actually two playbooks. One is an office level playbook. The other is the agent level playbook. Yours, of course, would be the agent one that you want to focus in on. We also have templates that we have created for you to help enhance your image content in social media. And we've done that through Canva. Canva is a third-party website. I love Canva because for me, I am horrible at Photoshop. Basically, Canva is Photoshop for dummies like me. Okay, so it's really an awesome site. It's free. Yeah, you can pay for additional service stuff, but you don't need to. You can do a lot of stuff for free, and we provide templates that are Canva based that you can apply to your image content to make them look more professional with Windermere branding. Okay, so it's really kind of cool. And then there's video content. There's a whole bunch of other things. When you are to access the hub, you can either go through the worksite like I just showed you, but you can also go to windermereplaybook.com and then access the hub through there. It's basically you're signing into the worksite, and then boom, you're in the hub or you're in the playbook. The next thing within the playbook, just kind of, I want to kind of point out, when you launch into the playbook, you first end up in like this outer world of the playbook that kind of gives you an overview of things. And as I said, there are two different playbooks. There's agent on the left, office on the right. So you would access the agent playbook on the left. But if you scroll down on this main screen, you'll also see this is where the templates are for Canva. And they give you step-by-step instructions on how to apply the templates. And there's a video that you can watch that walks you through the process of how you use the templates from Canva. Okay. And beyond that too, if you keep scrolling down a little further, there's also some really awesome videos that are just about social media in general, as well as the playbook. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can watch down here that will help give you guidance in your pursuits of being a social media pro. I look at a lot of these videos on a regular basis, to be honest with you. There's some of my favorites are in there. There's one that's called the 10 Laws of Social Media Marketing. I refer people to that video all the time because I get that question. Okay, I want to do social media marketing. What should I do? I said, you should watch this video because it really does give you 10 do's and don'ts of best practices of how you do social media. It's a really good stepping stone. But there are other videos in there, not just from us that we've created, but also videos from third party like social media darlings. There's this one awesome woman. Her name is Sunny. She is like somebody who I've followed on social media stuff for years now, for the last few years. She does some really cool stuff on Twitter, on Instagram, just some really cool things. But anyway, check it out. Okay, so that's social media. Any questions that you guys have regarding that? And I do want you to feel free to just pipe in. Just go ahead and ask away if you have a question. Again, that's what I'm here for. So if you have any questions on social media, go for it. And if not, we'll continue on. And
what's Sunny's last name?
What's that?
What's Sunny's last name?
Oh God, I always forget her last name. I always think, oh, it's a Sunny video. That's a Sunny video. I totally have spaced her last name.
Yeah,
but you'll see her video stuff in there all the time. And she has a really awesome one on Twitter because I've never been comfortable in the Twitterverse. And she has this really this cool one on 5 simple Twitter tips that I immediately implemented right away in kind of navigating Twitter a bit. So it's kind of cool. Okay, engage. So we're going to now dive into one of our first big tools. Engage is, of course, I hate calling it this. It's our CRM, client relationship management tool. It's not. It's your productivity tool. Okay, this is your automated business plan. That's what Engage is. It's all designed to keep you engaged with your database so that you can achieve more business. Okay, that's what it's all about. And there have been some enhancements to this tool. And there's some really cool stuff that's been there all along that people seem to not really know how to take full advantage of. So we're going to dive into just some key points about this. First off, the big one is it's been updated. Okay. The dashboard has been completely updated so that it is more customizable for you to make it your own, so that you can put right there on the dashboard when you first land in Engage, the information that matters most to you. It used to be, you would land in the dashboard, you had 4 spaces, you had calendar, you had the sales flow, you had, your goals, and you had like people, which I never really got that one. People. Okay. Yeah, I've got people. Yep, there are people. It let you know like how many people you hadn't engaged, how many new people were there, whatever. But to me, it was like, whatever. This is more meaningful. And you have 7 sections of content. You have stay in flow. Okay. Who are the people you should be connecting with right now based upon their activity and what they've been doing or what you have not been doing in staying connected with them? A to-do list. What are things that you need to be doing based on your calendar, based on tasks that you have set up and Engage? It lets you know what's up. Sales flow. Okay, that's the regular flow. Where are people at in that sales flow process? Your listings. They've tied in your listings, so you have that right there when you land in Engage. If you want to tap that section. Goals. Okay, we need to know that. And activity feed. What are people doing? Okay, basically, you sent out neighborhood news. Did they look at it? You sent out a listing announcement. Did they open it? Okay, it's going to show you that kind of activity. Yeah.
If we send out a campaign email, will it show up in activity feed if they open it?
I believe it should now, because that's one of the activities associated with a contact. It should show up in the activity feed, because they've tied in campaigns. Neighborhood news is tied into campaigns. All of them are kind of like now merging. So it should.
Ooh, I have maybe a tougher one. I know that this sort of syncs with Outlook, but you can also send an email from within Engage to your
Mhm.
contact, and it shows up then in that contact always and forever. Only when you're in Engage, but it doesn't pull emails in
No.
from your Outlook, but it will let me know if someone opened that email if I send it in Engage. So if you have like an important email that you're wondering if they opened,
Mhm.
send it through Engage and it'll tell you. Is
Exactly.
that right?
Because it's
Okay.
it's a tie-in through Engage, and you can only email contacts that are contacts within Engage through that functionality. So no, that's a cool thing too. And also one more tie-in too, Moxie Present. If you send a presentation to a client, Moxie Present presentation, and they are a contact in your Engage account, you will see that activity and you will see whether or not they viewed the presentation. It shows you, yep, has been viewed. So
So the cool thing about that is just if you guys are trying to get into property reviews, you can send a property review via Present to your contact, and it will let you know if they opened it. And then if they go back and open it like 6 months later, it will alert you that they've reopened the email, and that will be an indicator that they're going back to your value, your simple value sort of report on their property. They may be interested in selling.
and it's time to pick up the phone. And we're going to talk about another way to kind of really enhance that property review as well, to kind of make it a little more wow factor when you send it out. When we talk about Present. Okay, so customization. You can organize your dashboard any way, shape, or form you want with these modules. Okay, so if your to-do list is more important, you want to put it front and center, left click, drag and drop that module on the right hand panel and move it up that list. If you want your sales flow to be more important, same thing, drag and drop, move it wherever you want it to go. Okay, it's that simple to organize the dashboard. And when you scroll down, you'll just see everything kind of show up in that order of those options on the right-hand panel. So that's a cool factor that's happened.
Can you go back just one slide?
Mhm.
I want to bring, especially new people who are trying to like train themselves to keep in touch. Those little blue dots right under stay and flow where it says reach out to 5 people today. That is a great accountability tracker where you can go in here and it knows that you've engaged with them by sending them an email, signing them up for something, updating their profile, and it'll start to tick those blue dots off and you'll know you've accomplished your goal if you're doing that daily.
Mhm. Exactly.
It's a
Oh,
reward.
it's awesome,
Yeah.
Chris. I mean, that's what the beauty of Engage is. I mean, it really is that tool to keep you focused on staying on top of those relationships and doing those things. So anyway, cool. So that's an update on that side. Going old school, let's talk about neighborhood news, because neighborhood news went through an update last year. And it's an update to allow you to set up a more targeted neighborhood news piece as opposed to the zip code generated piece. I love this because now neighborhood news is actually neighborhood news. It's not zip code news. So it also has given you another opportunity to connect and engage with your clients, even ones who you've already set up with that zip code based neighborhood news piece. My whole point of neighborhood news is using it as a leverage to connect and engage and give you the opportunity to pick up the phone and call your client. That's the power of this piece, because what you want to do is let your clients know that it's coming. Okay, hey, I've got this really great resource. I set you up with neighborhood news. It was zip code based before. Now we have a new way of targeting an area for you, and I'm going to send you a targeted piece, and if you want to change that up, let me know. But I really want to get your feedback, what you think about this. Let's connect. Can we meet over Zoom? Can we meet? Can I call you on the phone? Can we meet in person for a socially distanced coffee? Whatever you want to do to connect. But the key point is you're engaging your clients, giving them a heads up that you're sending them this really awesome marketing piece or stats piece, and you're wanting their feedback because people love to tell you what they think about stuff. Okay. So it's a really great opportunity for you to connect with your clients in that way. And then what do? Well, you then set it up on an individual basis. Don't do it in bulk. Do it on an individual basis. Go to your contact after you've talked to them on the phone, scroll down on the contact field, go to the add subscription option on the left-hand panel, and then add your neighborhood news subscription. And then choose the custom targeted search option. What it's going to do, it's going to launch a little setup piece where it defaults to the zip code of the contact, but then it gives you the ability to go in and set various filters. So if I want to set a price point, I want to set number of bedrooms, bathrooms, lots, square footage, all that sort of stuff, I can do that. I can also then go into the map and then draw a boundary or set a school boundary or district boundary as that boundary of that targeted area. Using the zooming tools on the map, I can dial in on an area or expand back, and then really kind of set up a really nice neighborhood search. It then will pull up all the listings for that targeted area. And then for the stats piece, it all is still based on zip code data just because that's the deepest level that we can get for that kind of stuff. But if your search crosses zip code boundaries, it will blend the data between the two zip codes and kind of give a better as best a view of the stats as it can give. So it's a really cool piece. Now, once you've got your area picked out, everything's good to go. You hit the next option. It then confirms the email address to make sure that, yes, this contact has an email because, yeah, it's an email piece. They better have an email. And then you hit next, and then it previews what it's going to look like. It gives you an idea of what the email preview is going to look like on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, it's going to let you know what the report will look like when they click through to view the full report. And so you just scroll through, you take a look, make sure everything looks good. And it looks great, by the way. I mean, they've done a really great job in upgrading the viewing, the receiving side of the presentation. and it's dialed in. It really looks awesome. And it's all of, great stats, great graphs, great information. And it's branded to you in Windermere. And then when you're all set to go, you hit send and then off it goes. But here's the really awesome benefit of this tool is that when neighborhood news goes out and people click through on that detail section, the detail section is hosted on your agent website. Okay, you're driving traffic to your website, which is powerful. Okay, now that they're on your website, they can go and check out other information. They can see your listings, they can see what else is going on. So this is a really great tool to take advantage of, to stay connected, to stay engaged with your clients, and help direct traffic over to your site where they can get some more information. So definitely want to check that one out. Campaigns is another tool that recently was added to Engage just last year. And this is an email campaign tool that's built directly within Engage. So your database is all there, already set, and the campaigns already built for you. All you have to do is decide which ones you want to set up, which ones you want to send out, and to who do you want to send it to. Okay, that's what this is all about. There are 3 different types of campaigns available. There are date-driven campaigns that are built around specific dates like holidays, annual events, newsletters, that sort of stuff. There are sequential campaigns, which are based around relationships. Basically you meet somebody in the store, you want to kind of do that initial kind of email campaign where you're staying connected with them, letting them get to know you. You've got that warm lead campaign. You just closed a transaction with the seller, you want to get them into a campaign to stay connected with them. So those are the type of sequential campaigns that are based around an activity or a particular event around that connection. And then e-blast is just basically an email that you want to blast out and off it goes. So when you're in Engage, and yeah, I'm sorry, this is the old view of the dashboard, but when you're in Engage, you go up to the top where it says campaigns. That launches you into the tool. And when you're there, if you haven't created a campaign yet, it's going to kind of encourage you to do so. But how this functions is that you have a library of campaigns that you need to build out. Okay, where those campaigns exist, they're over in the Windermere library. Okay, so what you need to do is pull from the Windermere library into your own library of emails, okay, and email campaigns. And you can do both. You could pull over a campaign, which is basically a group of emails that are organized around a theme, or you can pull over individual emails themselves. I recommend pulling over the campaign. Make life easier on yourself. Pull over a campaign. That way you have all the emails coming across. You don't have to pick individual emails. When you're ready to add them, you just click on the nice big blue button. It says add from library. It opens up and it shows you all of the emails and campaigns available to you. So you can choose. Do you want to see the campaigns or do you want to see the individual emails? Again, campaigns. That's the best way of doing this. So scroll through, you'll see there are tons of different campaigns. There are, seasonal campaigns, the holiday e-card campaigns, and there's a really cute one I love. It's the holiday e-card campaign pet edition, which has cute little pictures of doggies and cats. But darn it, it needs rabbits. I'm a rabbit owner, and it needs to have more rabbits. I'm gonna complain to the marketing department about that. But anyway, so
really cute.
I love my rabbit. Dobby's awesome.
Quick question about the source. Yeah. What's the difference between an office and a brokerage?
Okay, so you can have different levels of creating content. So office is I think
like I have 2 offices.
Yes. Office would be a specific one that you create internally that's available to your office, the offices you designate. Okay, and you do that separately as an admin. You know how to do that. So it's a different way of going about to create it. You don't create the email pieces or the campaigns here. You create it through the work site. There's a different functionality that's built into the work site for creating the content.
Yeah, and I feel like brokerage is coming from corporate.
Yeah, brokerage is the corporate. Brokerage is the big picture. That's the stuff that's coming across from Windermere. Large, the big picture stuff. So, yep. So, cool. And then, so what you do is just, find a campaign. And by the way, you'll see there are some that are editable and not editable, meaning that you have an editing tool that's built in that allows you to edit the individual emails within a campaign if you so choose to do it. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But that's why you see editable, or you see the non-editable button. That means that's an email that you cannot edit, or a campaign you cannot edit. But anyway, take a look at the campaigns, do a preview, see what you think. And then to add it into your account, you click the add to campaigns. That's adding it to your campaigns account. Okay, you'll see a little green box show up in the upper right. And then you just close out of this preview of the library. And then when you go back into your campaigns account, you will then see that campaign show up in the awaiting setup section, because all you've done so far is just say, oh, that's the campaign I want to use. I'm going to pull it over from the Windermere library. And now I need to go in and set up that campaign and launch it to the people I want to receive it. So that means you have to go in and edit your campaign before it goes out. So you hit the edit. It shows you in the first step a preview of all the emails and the dates at which it's going out. Now, if this were a sequential campaign, like a seller that you worked with in the past, or a new contact that you met, instead of day to send being a specific date, it would be days after launch. So it would be like, day 2, day 14, day 30, day 60, so on and so forth. You'd see it would look a little different in the sequential side. So just so you're aware of that. Now, if I want to add content or edit the campaign, as far as adding additional emails within this campaign, you can do that. All you do is scroll to the bottom of this preview section, and then you'll see an option to add email. When you click it, what it does is it looks at the very last email in that section, and then it copies over and adds a copy of it, with the ability for you to then click in the little drop-down menu and then select from any of the emails that you have pulled over from the main library into your campaigns account. So you'll see all those emails show up. So that's one of the key things you need to be aware of. It's a good idea to grab the emails over from the Windermere library and just pull them in, or pull in the campaigns in. So you have different emails that you can pull from if you want to enhance an email campaign and add additional emails. So once you do, you just kind of scroll through, find an email you want to add in, you select it. And then the next thing you need to then select the day in which it goes out. If it's date driven, it's a calendar. You're setting an actual calendar date when it's going to go out. If it's sequential, you would then type in day 90, or day 93, whatever it may be. You would put in the actual day after the first launch of the campaign of that sequence. Okay. Now, once you've added it, you feel good. Oh, and by the way, too, I've gotten this call in this email several times. People have gone in to look at the holiday e-cards, and they go, well, I see the holiday like 2020. Where's 2021? It's there. Okay. All they did is went in and added in the additional 2021 dates to that campaign, so that they should all be showing up in that sequence. All you need to do is just confirm to see that those emails are there. And they've gone all the way through to January 1 of 2022, I believe. So it's there. It's just within that generic, I think I don't know why they still label it 2020, but it's a holiday e-card campaign. Okay. Now, scrolling back up to the top, you hit next to go to the next preview. And then this is where you can go in and preview the actual emails themselves. So you can go in, click preview, see what the email looks like. And they're cute. The pet ones are cute. I love them. And then once you say, okay, that looks good to me. Okay, cool. You can go in and also edit the title. So if you want to rename the email campaign, you can do that as well. Okay. And then once you've got that all squared away, you feel good about the emails that are going out, when they're going out, and how they look, you hit the save option. And then the next step is adding people to receive those emails. Okay. And when you do that, you've got two different ways of pulling people in to receive those emails. You can do it by group, meaning if you've created groups and organized your Engage account by way of group, all you do is find the group you want to add to receive that email, and then you hit the plus sign, and then they get added in. The other option is by going in by individual people. So I would do a search, find the name of a contact, it pulls up, and then I select that contact to be added into the list. Now, here's the benefit of using groups. If you organize your contacts by way of group, when you go to add a new person into that group, they will automatically get added into that email list. Okay, so you don't have to go back in and then individually add them in to receive that email campaign. They will automatically be added to it because they are now a part of that group. Now, where do they end up in the line of the emails? Well, if it's a date-driven campaign like seasonal greetings, they're going to get the next one that goes out on that next date, whenever that date happens to be with everybody else. If it's a sequential campaign like previous sellers, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to name that, as soon as they get added in, because they're now the latest previous seller or whatever, they will start the sequence from email 1 and then continue on from there. It's not like they're suddenly dumped into day 20 or day 30 or whatever it may be. Okay, so that's how that functions. And then when you're all set, you feel good about the folks you've added, you hit next. It confirms whether or not there's an email associated with the contact, which we hope there is, because this is an email campaign. And then if there isn't, it's going to show, you can show the details and see what's going on there. Yeah.
So let me just making sure I understand this correctly.
Mhm.
If you create a sequential email campaign for, say, new buyers,
Mhm.
and you add the new buyer to the new buyer group that's receiving that sequential, it'll start with day one
Day one.
email
Yeah.
that buyer, and you may have 30 or 40 people already in that group, and they're all at their own
Own sequential pace. Yep.
Thank you, Todd.
Yep. Yep. That's how the that whole thing is supposed to function. Yep. Cool. Okay. So let's talk about getting set to run. So once you've added the people to receive, now it's time to either run the campaign. If you feel good and you're ready to launch it, you just hit run campaign, and then off they go. They're off to the races. If you're not comfortable with it, if you want to still kind of like, yeah, you know what, I may need to review things, you can archive the campaign and then run it at a later date. That's up to you and how you want to do that. Okay. If you want to edit the emails themselves, you can do that too. Okay, so from when you're in your main campaign screen, if you click on the email option up in the upper left-hand side, it's going to show you all of your emails that are there. Find an email that you want to edit, and it's got to be editable. There are some that may not be editable, but if you click on one that is editable, you hit edit, it's going to then launch you into a simple editing feature that's built into the system. You can rename the email, whatever you want to name it. You then can go into the email setup and then edit the subject line and the preview text of the email piece that you want to send out. And then below that, you then have this editing function for editing the email piece itself. Okay, so I can go in, edit email content. It's going to pull up a little screen. If this happens to be a blank email starting from scratch, but if it were one that I'm editing that already has content, you'd see that content show up. If I want to change the template and want to kind of make something totally fresh and new, I can go to the option to change template. There's several different templates that have been pre-built for you. They're going to be adding even more to this. They give you different styles of emails. So they have an event-based email. You can see their holiday recipes. They've got new listings. They've got a couple of newsletter templates. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can choose from. You just choose whatever template you want to work with. And then it's a matter of just swapping content. So if I wanted to change out one of the photos, I just double click into the photo. It'll pull up a little box. And then it allows me to then upload a new image into that space. If I want to change the modules, meaning I want to kind of mix up, the different content pieces of that email, I have a number of modules on the right-hand panel that I can choose from. I can add in rows, I can add in content, I can add in different styles for the email. And then one of the cool ones on the module side, by the way, is the one that says listings. This is a module that you can then add in that will display your listing from the MLS. So when you add the module in, it pops up a little window for you to then go in and type in the MLS ID of your listing. And when you enter it in, it then populates the email piece with that listing information. You don't have to lift a finger. It just pops it right in. So that's kind of a cool feature. I love this because, it's all built within Engage. Okay. This is like, MailChimp, Constant Contact, but with content already there for you to use. And all you have to do is decide if you want to personalize it or do you not, because you can take both routes with it. Okay. Now, once you've got your email, just, you got it set the way you want, you hit continue, and then it gives you an option to send a test email to yourself to see what it looks like. Otherwise, you just hit save, and then you're good to go. And then you need to then add that email into the campaign and then launch your campaign. So again, with this tool, you can take the easy route because a lot of the campaigns are beautifully designed as is, and they're templated with mail merge stuff. So it's all looks like it's all you and coming from you. Or you can go in and use the editing tool and personalize it and really dial it in and make it your own language, your own verbiage, and make it your own. You decide what you want to do with this. The last thing I want to talk about on the campaign side is the analytics. They do have analytics running. So when you launch a campaign, you can track the open rate, you can track the unsubscribe rate. I'm still trying to see where we're at on campaigns and what the unsubscribe rate is and the open rates are for these. I'm assuming they're pretty darn good given the track record we have with Neighborhood News. And speaking of which, you can also track the analytics of Neighborhood News through campaigns as well. And that one is always amazing. I love the analytics on Neighborhood News because it's going to let you know, who received it, when they received it, when did they open it. It lets you know open rate and the unsubscribe rate. And the one thing I have found with Neighborhood News, the open rates are phenomenal with it, and the unsubscribe rates are incredibly low. It's just really amazing with that Neighborhood News piece. So anyway, that is campaigns. So how are we doing on campaigns? You guys feel good? Good. I mean, you've got help in the office. You guys have awesome folks, so you guys are good. Okay, let's talk about a cool tool within Engage that for some reason people still aren't taking advantage of, and that's the special date feature. And that is, when you're in a contact in Engage and you go into their contact information, you edit their profile info. As you scroll through the profile screen, you'll see a section called dates, and you can go in and you can add special dates. You can add in birthdays, anniversaries, and house anniversaries. Oh, and by the way, with house anniversaries, I've been asked this too. If you have an investor client that has multiple house anniversaries, you can add multiple house anniversaries. It's not one house anniversary per contact. So once you add a special date, that add date will still be there, and you can keep adding in house anniversary date, house anniversary date, house anniversary date if you need to. Okay. But this is where the fun begins. Okay. Once you've got the dates in the contact, if you go back to the main contact screen and you scroll down on their detail section, you'll see the special date show up, and then you'll see an option to add it to calendar. When you click it, you'll see it just switches over to a calendar icon. But what actually happens is that special date gets added to your email calendar. So, I mean, it's on your Exchange, your Microsoft Exchange calendar as an annual recurring appointment. So it's there. The reminder is now set in stone, and you have it going with you wherever you go. But that's not all. Okay, yeah, I'm an infomercial right now. That's not all. Guess what else you get with this really awesome date feature? When you click on the calendar icon, it gives you the ability to send a greeting out on that special date. So it could be 9 months from now, and you can go into your contact and set that greeting up. So you set it and forget it. Okay, you don't have to worry about it, and you won't forget it because you're getting reminded about it. So you know that greeting's going out. It just saves you if you get really busy that day and you don't get a chance to pick up the phone, because this is the most important thing you should be doing on those anniversary dates, is picking up the phone and calling your client. But if you get so busy and you forget, you know, at least there's something going out and they're getting a greeting. Now, here's something even cooler. We have a tie-in through Engage to Loop and Tie. And if you're not familiar with Loop and Tie, it's a really awesome site that allows you to set up a gift to go out to your client, and you set a dollar amount. Okay. And it gives them options when they go into this Loop and Tie site to then pick out a gift at various price points, 25 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever you set. They then have an option of different gifts that they can select from. So you have this really cool client gift already going out automatically, and it's auto tied in using this tool. Okay, so really cool feature, basic sort of stuff. And again, this is one that's been around and engaged for a long time. The Loop and Tie is new, but the greeting to go out on those special dates, it's been around. Take advantage of it. Okay, stay connected, stay engaged. Okay, the last thing in Engage I'm going to cover, and then we're going to move on to the next little section of stuff, is a brand new feature that just launched out in February, about the same time as the custom dashboard launched. This launched as well on the backside, and it's the save search feature tied in through faves and saves. Okay, it's a new space that's been created within your contacts. So if you go to a contact in Engage, you'll see faves and saves. And what it allows you to do is create a save search like you would through the MLS for your clients. And the big difference is that this is branded. It's branded to you, and it's branded Windermere. And when your clients click on the search and they see that stuff, it's all tied into you. And when they look at details of a property, it's details on your website, so it ties into you. So it's really a powerful tool to connect that save search functionality that you normally are doing through the MLS to brand it and tie it in with you. So it's really easy to create the searches, and then you can set the frequency of when your clients receive it. They even have updates on an hourly basis if you want. So if a new listing pops, they'll receive it so that they'll get that update right away. So you've got hourly, weekly, or daily, whatever you want to set, you can set it that way. But the search is pretty simple. I mean, look familiar? I mean, yeah, it's the same thing you saw in neighborhood news. It's the same thing you see on the website. It's the same search tool you see in Present. So you just go in, you decide, the area in which you want the search to happen. You can use the filters to set price point, the beds, baths, square footage. You can use all the mapping tools that you saw before. They're all there. Everything is there. You decide how you want to set that search for your clients. And then you go in to the email and settings section to then set the frequency of when they receive the emails. So really cool feature. Definitely want to check that out. Another aspect that's tied into it is the faves. So if they see a property that's in that search and they really like it, they can mark it as a favorite. And when they do, you receive notification of that. And that fave shows up in that folder, faves and saves, as well. Okay, so it's all there right at your fingertips. So you can stay on top of that with your contacts. So that is the stuff I wanted to show in Engage. How are we doing so far? We're doing good? Okay. Next thing we're going to roll through, and again, like I said, the fire hose of information. I told you I'd be hitting you really hard with all this stuff. So the listing manager tool. Listing manager is a feature built into the worksite for all of your listings. When you go to the worksite, if you click on enhance market listings, that's where you will see the listing manager tool. When you click it, you can either access to enhance your listings or market your listings. Listing manager is in the section for enhance my listings. When you click that, it then shows you all the listings that have been swept across from the MLS into the back end of the work. Yeah.
How is this different than Impress?
Impress, well, the listing manager tool is just, it's always been there on the worksite. It has nothing to do with Impress. Impress is its own functionality for being able to market an individual listing in one shot, one push button, and I highly recommend you check out Impress. But this is just all functionality that's kind of built behind the scenes. If you don't want to take advantage of Impress, this is some of the other stuff that you have available to you as well. On the back side of the listings, this is where you access photo gallery. That's what that little film strip is. Photo gallery allows you to enhance a listing with additional photo content or video content, or you can even upload PDFs as imagery for a listing.
I'm afraid that our millennials will have no idea what that symbol is.
Yeah. Yeah. So that really interesting thing that's called camera film. I know. Maybe we need to update it with a digital phone or something. I don't know what we should do. Like Instagram, it's got to be a little Instagram camera. So there we go. That's what it should be. I'm gonna let those guys know. Anyway. Where I want to kind of talk to you about is what you can find in the little 3-dot action button of any listing that has been pulled across from the MLS. When you click it, you're going to see you have additional resources you can tap into for your listings. The listing announcement feature, promote, and a flyer, a simple flyer tool. Okay, that's the quick flyer tool. The listing announcement feature, this is the one that's built into Engage. So if you go, when you're in Engage and you go to subscriptions, you'll see there's a listing announcement subscription. It basically is an ability for you to subscribe a bunch of people to receive an email blast anytime you have a new listing. Normally the trigger is through Engage. You have to create a transaction. You then it has to be on the MLS, and then has to be an active transaction, sales transaction. And you have to do this and do that and push a button and then off it goes. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay. As long as you have subscribers to the listing announcement feature, you can go in here in the backside of the listing manager tool, click on listing announcement for that particular listing, and then it launches you into the tool itself. Okay. All you have to do is add in this new property to create the announcement for, and it walks you through a simple step-by-step process to create the piece and then press one button and off it goes. Okay. It's really simple now. So I encourage you to check that one out. The other option in there for promote, this is the promote tool from Moxie that allows you to create ads in Facebook and Instagram. I had one of those like little momentary lapses there. And that's the key, Facebook and Instagram, okay, because they're the same company. A lot of people don't realize that, but the Moxie Promote tool just simplifies the process of creating the ad. Okay, all you do is go in, just set the basic information. It pulls data across from the MLS, so image content's already pulled in. There's a lot of stuff that's already done for you. You set an ad range, how much you want to spend. You set where do you want it to go to, what kind of areas, and then put in your payment and you're good to go. And the ad launches out to Facebook and Instagram. The benefits of using this tool as compared to going directly through Facebook for Facebook ads, they have a feature built into Promote that allows you to create a marketing piece to go out to your your client, to show them the impact. Okay, it lets them know the reach of the ad, that lets them know how many click-throughs you had, all that kind of stuff. And it's a beautiful marketing piece that's all tailored to you and branded Windermere, branded you. So definitely something you should check out as well. Okay. And then lastly, on top of Promote, is the quick flyer within that action button. This is where you can go and access that quick flyer tool if you need to create a flyer lickety split and get it out to your clients over the weekend or wherever it may be. Quick flyers is built in there as well. One last thing in the listing manager tool is the analytics tool that's built in. You access the analytics for your listing by clicking on the listing itself. So you need to click a listing. It's going to pull up the information across the top. You'll see all the same features we just talked about, the photo gallery, listing announcement, promote, so on and so forth. But on the bottom underneath that image, you'll see tabs, and then on the right you'll see analytics. This takes you in and allows you to check out the analytics of that listing and page views from the Windermere site, from your agent website, from Zillow, from Trulia. Okay, so you've got all of these analytics that are available to you to take a look. But what's better that what they baked into this, what I love, is if you scroll down, you will see a simple setup tool to create a marketing piece to go out to your clients to let them know the analytics. Okay, so it's another awesome touch point that's right there waiting for you to access. So yep, Kristen, you got that one right. Yep, I know. Isn't it about time? Yep, I love it. So this is another update that happened last year, is this simple analytic tool that allows you to create this piece to go out to your clients. Again, another important touch point to stay engaged and to stay on top of that relationship with the seller, during listing. So, okay, so that's that. Present. So here we go into present. I'm not going to go into details on everything about present. I want to key in on two things that I think are vital takeaways in the current market we're in staying connected and staying engaged with people. Again, that's what this is all about, and also in productivity. Buyers, working with buyers right now, and especially going in and doing buyers tours and trying to tour homes, it's not so easy. Okay, and I know things are opening up a little bit more up there. They're opening up a little bit more down here too. We may be able to go out and tour homes physically. That's awesome. But if you still need to do things virtually, we have the power of present to be able to do that. It also works great when you're trying to work with out of state, out of town clients to quote unquote tour homes that you want to showcase for them. In present, we have different presentation types. We have buyer presentation, seller presentation, but we also have a new type called a buyer's tour presentation. This came out a couple of years ago. Not a lot of fanfare. A lot of folks don't even realize it's still there. But this is a really great resource, especially in the climate we find ourselves in right now, because what it was designed to be is a takeaway that you can send your client a digital report of the listings you're going to go show them, instead of having to print out a bunch of pages from the MLS and saying, here, there you go. These are all the listings we're going to view today. This is this is present. So it's dialed in, it's dynamic, and they can then view things over their phone. Okay, so you create this presentation of all the listings you're going to go tour. And the really cool thing about this presentations type with the buyer's tour, when you go to create it, you'll see there's the buyer's tour is there, one of the presentation types. It's right down there for you. When you go to create it and you choose that template, you'll see there is this allow notes and ratings option. And you want to make sure that's turned on, because one of the cool benefits of this presentation, when your clients are viewing the properties and they're going through the properties and touring, as you're touring the properties, whether you're doing it virtually or you're doing it live, they can go in and mark down ratings. Okay, this property is 4 out of 5 stars. This property is 5 out of 5, and they can write notes. Really love the kitchen. It has a really awesome open floor plan, but did not like the primary suite and did not like the backyard or whatever it may be. They can put that stuff down into the presentation, and because Moxie Present is web-based, that gets stored and saved in the presentation. And then when you're all done with the tour with your clients, you can go back in, re-access that presentation, and see those comments. You'll see their notes, you'll see their ratings. So it really is kind of a cool feature, especially now where we may not be able to get into a home directly, and your clients, maybe the buyers are just not comfortable touring homes directly. So you can do this presentation, prepare it digitally through Present. And here's another cool thing about this buyer's tour. Again, it was designed to actually be a physical driving, tool to go tour homes, or to have it set up for you to be able to set that tour up. So it starts off with setting an initial starting point of the tour through INRIX Drive Time. And then what it does is it uses INRIX Drive Time, which is this third-party drive time tool that allows you to kind of track down the best routes and the best drive times between 2 points. It optimizes the drive route using drive time between the different listings that you're going to go tour with your clients. So that's kind of a cool thing that's built into it. But when you go in, you create the presentation, all you do is just, you can either use Present to find the listings that you're going to showcase, that you're going to go take your clients on to go see, or you can use the option up at the top above the search bar, the MLS hashtag option, that's basically is where you go to plug in the MLS IDs for your buyers. So MLS ID, comma space, MLS ID, comma space, MLS ID, and then hit the little eyeglass and then, or spyglass thing, and then it loads in all those properties, and then you're good to go. So buyer's tour, really awesome presentation type. Again, you can use it virtually, you can use it physically going and driving to see homes. It's something that you should take a look at and see what's up. And I see there was stuff that came up in the chat, and I'm sorry, I've been kind of rolling through.
No, we just figured we could rewind, but if you know real quick, the analytics report comes from the Market My Listing or the what section?
It's in the Enhance My Listing section. So you need to go Enhance My Listing, and then that takes you into the listing manager tool. Then you
and then the 3 little dots.
You got it. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. To get to analytics, you actually have to click on the listing itself, and then it takes you into the full view of the listing. And then you'll see analytics as one of the options in the tab underneath the image.
Thank you.
Yep. That's where it's at. Cool. Okay. So let's talk one more thing in Present. And this is a thing that I really believe in as far as how it relates to one of the things we talked about in the annual property reviews and doing property reviews. And that's incorporating video content. Because right now, you may be in a situation where you're creating these annual, your property reviews for clients and sending it out to folks. And you may want to try and schedule a Zoom appointment with them to kind of go over it, but maybe your calendars are just not quite matching up to get that meeting in and to connect with them. So why not record a video and incorporate it within the presentation and have it be the very first slide to introduce what they're going to experience in their property review. It's really an awesome thing to be able to do. And you can do that in Present. It's a dynamic tool. It's web-based. So what I recommend that you do is, do a video, host it through YouTube. Okay, YouTube is always best to host video, just because you want to have that space where people can go to YouTube and check things out. But host a video there, and then pull that video into your presentation. And you can do that really easily in Present by creating a custom slide. You just go in, add page, select create new, and then build your page. It's going to take you into the editing tool. Make sure that you're in web view, because you can't watch a video on a piece of paper. Although you never know with technology where it's going. Anyway, then you select the big full screen view. You hit create. And then the next screen, what you want to do is hit the more option. Yes, there is a video option down there, but I recommend hitting the more option to pull stuff from YouTube. And why I recommend YouTube is because you should have a space on YouTube for all of your real estate virtual tours, video tours, and client testimonials, just because YouTube is one of the biggest sites out there on the planet, and it is Google. It's always good to be connected with Google on that side of things. So that's why I recommend it. The other reason why I recommend it is because, darn it, Moxie Present has a YouTube icon to make it easy to embed video from YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you find your video, and I'm just happen to be in this Windermere real estate YouTube channel, but you find your video, watch your video, make sure the video is something you do want to incorporate and present. If it's something you created or Windermere created, you're good to go. But if it's something you found randomly off of YouTube, watch out. Just be aware of it. But anyway, you watch your video, you make sure it's something you want to use, you hit the share option. It's going to give you a link. You use that link, copy the URL, go back into your slide, hit the YouTube icon. It's going to pull up a little box, paste in your URL, and then all you have to do from here is just go into the little boxes. Check mark the box to make sure it's responsive. Uncheck the box. You don't want YouTube suggesting anything. It could be bad, very bad. And then make sure you check mark enable privacy enhanced mode. That's a good thing. And then uncheck autoplay, because you just don't want it to start playing right from the start. You want it to play when people are ready to launch it. Okay. And then you hit OK. And then boom, video embeds into the slide. All you then have to do is hit save, close out of the preview. Oh, after you save, you name it, you describe it, and then you close out of the preview, and then you're good to go. Okay, so it's that easy to embed video into a slide. And then that slide, when you save it, usually goes into your My Pages folder. So if you don't see the slide go into your presentation, take a look at your My Pages folder to make sure that it's there, and then you pull it into your presentation. So it's really easy to get video in. I'm seeing some chat stuff come up. Just want to make sure. Yep, cool, awesome. Okay, I think we got answers they're going on. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Okay, I'm sorry, running over a little bit just because there's so much information here. But the last thing I want to cover is websites. And I'm not going to get into a lot of detail on websites. All I'm going to say is this, is that be very happy you're a Windermere agent. Okay, I'm going to flat out say that, because I'm fine. I'll hop on my soapbox. I've worked in this industry for over 20 years. I've spent the last like 18 of it working with agents as it relates to technology. I was on the sales and marketing side of the title escrow world, working with agents on that. My kind of shtick was technology, how to incorporate technology. And then I've spent a lot of time working with agents on how to build social media platforms, how to build blogging, how to help build websites in WordPress. And the one thing that amazed me before I even joined Windermere was when Windermere launched the new website platform that was designed based off of WordPress, because that was next level. Because the majority of agents out there at other companies, they literally get a really cruddy static page off of a main company site that has zero functionality to it. It literally is just a landing spot. But Windermere has this other philosophy that I absolutely love about our company, is that they believe that you should be able to create a space that's meaningful for you. And so your website is basically yours. It's just branded with the Windermere brand, but the rest of it, that's up to you and what you want to do. And what they've done is they keep enhancing the tool set to allow you to create a more and more customizable space on the web. Now, I know you've got help in your offices for folks that can help you do this, but I just want to kind of point out, I mean, this is not your mom and dad's website anymore. This is like really super cool stuff that you can do using this web design tool. So you want to take full advantage of it, and you can reflect your personality in the website that you design using the tool with Page Builder. So there's a lot of customization. If you don't want to customize, that's fine too. We've got basic templates that you can work off as well that look perfectly fine. But the key thing is this, is take advantage of it. I have a friend, what she does for a living is she designs websites. That's all she does. She does it for companies. She does it for individuals all around literally the globe. And I ask her on occasion, hey, I'll send her a website. What would you price this out? If somebody asked you to build a site like this, what would it cost me, to do this? And she goes, oh, not a problem. The last time I sent it to her, she priced one of our Windermere sites I can't remember which one it was I sent her, but anyway, it was like $8,000 for the build out. And then she would basically charge about a $200 a month maintenance fee and IDX and everything else, all the other stuff, bells and whistles you want on a website and all the tools and resources. So, I mean, that's massive. And you guys, you've got it right here at your fingertips at Windermere. You have the resources to build that kind of website. So anyway, take advantage of it. The only thing I'm going to say on the update side is we've added some new templates on Page Builder under what's called the brokerage folder in templates. So if you go in and to customize a website and you go look at the templates and you see the additional folder options of templates, there's a folder called brokerage folder. In there, you'll see a template that's based off of the new look of the Windermere website. It's the all in for you look. Okay, so we have step-by-step instructions on how to access it. Those are on the hub. You can track it down there. The other thing we did is we added some new pages in the site pages section that kind of are an enhanced look for a seller guide and a buyer guide, or just seller information and buyer information. These are just really kind of nice looking pages. They're hidden away. They've just been automatically added there, but they're hidden. So you have to go into the site page section on the backside of your site, scroll down to the bottom because it's brand new. It's down at the bottom. And then you need to show it. And then you need to move it. Okay, so you drag and drop and put it where you want it to go. They're not editable, although I think we're working on a way to edit it soon. So you can kind of change it up a little bit, but not entirely, because it's really beautifully branded and we don't want you to mess with it too much because it looks good and the module looks great. So anyway, that's it. Kind of like I said, I'm sorry I fire hosed you guys so much with all this information. I know you're probably like, your eyes are all glossed over. You're probably drooling over there. That's why you're not on camera right now, because you don't want me to see that drool. So that's all right. But I do want to say I'm here for any questions. So please fire away if you've got any questions.
Todd, everybody stayed on, so that's a good sign. And I thought it was fantastic. Cool. I know everybody probably wrote down different things that hit them that they'll be using. Awesome. But I'm planning on chunking this up in my sales meetings and maybe showing snippets of this video.
Please do it. That'd be awesome.
Karen, go for it. If you've got a question, ask away. Yeah, please do.
Come off mute, ask away.
Can I help you, Karen? Let me see.
Oh, that's right, Karen. Yeah, if you need to chat in your question, that's cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't have the thing. Okay.
You went to the film part of your listing, so you went in to add. Oh, okay, got it. To add your new video. Okay. So you went into photo gallery. Is that what we're talking about? If you went into the listing section, you went into photo.
So I actually don't think that you. Oh. Yeah, we can reload, Karen, all the listings. If it will override the MLS, but you can go ahead and add them back with the video. At least, Todd, that used to be. I thought actually that got taken away from the Windermere.
So when you're in photo gallery, what you're doing is replacing the feed from the MLS. So what you would need to do is, if when you're adding in the content, you can add in the video, the virtual tour, but you'd also want to add in all of the images, all the photos for your listing. You can put in as many as you want. That's the whole thing. There is no limit. So there's not even a 40 photo limit. You can put in as many photos as you want into photo gallery and load them all up. Plus, you can also add in a PDF document. So if you have like a site map or something like that, floor plan of the listing, you can add that in as a PDF. So.
Cool. And is there a separate how-to video for like training video for Impress?
Yeah, they have one in the, I think it's within the Impress folder of help folder. Otherwise, you can go to MoxieWorks, and then they have a help guide for Impress there. I think the marketing kind of took that Impress under their wing and just kind of ran with it. So I think there's some training that they've got over on the Impress side. So.
And then real quick question. So Moxie Works now is its own separate company,
You
sort
got
of.
it.
I think Windermere sort of helped it get its.
It was
It's help-
Windermere. It was a Windermere company. It was Windermere Solutions, and then they broke off from Windermere to become Moxie Works, and they are now entirely separated. We are a vendor. We are one of their clients, but we're one of their biggest. So
Yeah, totally. And that, I don't think that's a bad thing because
Nope.
then they have more people to help impress and improve. But is there some sort of like the technology can be the same across other brokerages and doesn't affect us too much from competition, but obviously it's all branded to us, so we
Yep.
kind of control our own marketing and look.
Yeah, we control our own marketing, and the key thing is this: when it comes to that, is that yeah, other brokerages may have access to present, but they don't know how to use it.
I love it. Okay.
And for our advantages is that we have really good training on that. We have great resources to help you take advantage of these tools, and the key thing is take advantage of the tools.
Yeah.
Because the tool doesn't really help you if you don't use it.
Yeah.
But if you do use it, it can benefit you, and we've seen that. We've tracked the analytics. We see agents who are using our tools, who are using the tools on a regular basis, are seeing on average between 38 to 40% increases in productivity.
That's awesome. And then for these brokers who are on the call, you guys are probably wondering about, so Todd, we wanted to do email newsletter marketing a while before you guys came up with campaigns, and you're still
Mhm.
kind of in beta mode. So we're keeping with our old My Emma, which we got from Windermere. But we're going to wait and keep testing campaigns until we feel like it's up to My Emma's capability.
Quality of standard. Yes, I
Yeah.
know my Emma quite well.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah. So I think it looks like you guys are getting there, and it'll be so
It's
nice to
getting
have it
there.
all in
It's
one place.
improving. The benefit we have with our tool is the content's already there.
Right.
The content
Exactly. We
is
don't have to recreate package Matthew Gardner stuff and
you got it. It's
announcements.
already built, and you all you're doing is tapping into it.
Yeah. Cool. I know.
Cool.
That would be nice.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much,
Great.
Todd.
Yeah, I'll stop the screen share, and that's awesome. Thank you guys for
Oh, wait.
let's see what that junk.
I don't think that's I don't think that has to be that way. She's saying that when she sends the analytics report, it comes through from Windermere Real Estate, not my Windermere email. Maybe that's a setting thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's something I'd have to check out. I'll talk to our team about that.
Good catch though, Karen. We'll test it out on a few people's before we see if we can't fix that or change the settings. Okay.
We can take a look.
Thanks, you guys.
Cool. Thank you guys. Take care.